Hello everyone, I'm JG. Welcome back to Music Forever, where today I'm talking about the new Kendrick Lamar single, The Heart Part 4. This song right here is a big deal, and if you're familiar with Kendrick Lamar, you should know why. This is pretty much his first single, first new material really, since his last album, To Pimp a Butterfly. And I know that's not entirely true considering he had that Untitled Unmastered collection released last year, but that consisted of leftover tracks that didn't make it onto To Pimp a Butterfly. So, even though those were new material at the time, they really kind of weren't in a sense because they were made for that album before and they just didn't make it on and then were released later. They weren't like new material meant to, be new in the sense. It wasn't like a brand new album or anything. And this right here is brand new, and I don't know if it's going to be on his upcoming album or if this is just a track that he's releasing before that's not going to be on the album, but just to get people hyped up for the album. I'm not exactly sure yet, but regardless, it's definitely getting me hyped up for this album. I've been a fan of Kendrick Lamar for a while now, ever since I really got into hip-hop a few years ago, and the reason why is because he manages to be, a great rapper, and what I mean by that is he's managed to reach, mainstream success and reach a wide audience, yet at the same time he does so with great lyrics, great beats, great flow, all the stuff of a great rapper, yet somehow he still manages to, kind of break into the mainstream, which, kind of puts him at the top. Lots of people think that he may be like one of the best rappers of all time right now, and I'm kind of in agreement. I'm not sure if he's the best or, I think there's lots of other underground rappers that are also, close to his level, I guess you could say, but they're not getting as much mainstream success. And, that's really the difference between the two of them. And, I was a big fan of his last two projects, especially Good Kid, Mad City, and, of course, To Pimp a Butterfly. I really love those two albums. I'm not saying I don't like his other projects. I like those all, too. But especially those last two albums were some of my favorites. And especially To Pimp a Butterfly. That was probably my favorite album of 2015. So, I have high hopes for this new upcoming album. And I'm just really surprised he's dropping something, so soon. It's only been about 2 years. And as I said before, he had that other Untitled Unmastered, that whole collection that was released last year, so it's kind of been like a year since we've gotten new material from him, and he's already back. As he claims at the end of this song, I believe it was April 7th, he says in the lyrics, that maybe when the album is coming out. That's pretty soon, so what a surprise, but a good surprise. However, until this new album drops, this track gives you a lot to be thinking about and a lot to digest while you're waiting, because this is a very lyric-heavy track in my opinion. It's not, a very catchy, like, first radio single kind of track. It's definitely something that's going to get hardcore Kendrick fans hyped up for the album, but it's not something that I think would, get a lot of new fans in, not something people that listen to the radio, stuff like that. It's not going to really draw them in my opinion. Yet, at this point, considering how much success Kendrick has had, how wide of an audience he's been able to achieve, I really don't think that's necessary for him at this point. And going back to the lyrics I said before, there's a lot going on here. The track is kind of split up into two separate parts. There's a first verse and a second verse, and the second verse is a lot longer than the first verse. In fact, the second verse of the song takes up most of the track runtime. And, that's not a very usual thing in a lot of songs nowadays. Especially nowadays where the hook and the chorus seems to be the main focus of a lot of songs, especially hip-hop songs. Yet here, it happens twice, at the beginning and after the first verse, but it's not a really big part of the song. It's there, but it's not something that, super catchy or anything like that. It's clear that he put a lot more effort into the verses and the lyrics in the verses, which, hardcore Kendrick fans who love his lyrics are going to have a fun time analyzing. The lyrics themselves here see Kendrick, reflecting on his current position in the whole rap game and just music in general, how he's kind of become this massive star, this, as I said before, some people consider him to be the best rapper right now, and that's not an easy title to achieve. That's a pretty big title to have, and considering that he's only grown in popularity over this past decade, really, it's funny to think that 10 years ago he wasn't even someone that most people knew of, and now he's at the top. He's kind of reflecting on that, talking about how big he's made it, and at the same time, he kind of goes after some other rappers. He doesn't name anyone specifically, however, I do feel that some of these tracks are going after specific people. Yeah, and he does also go after the President of the United States here. He does name names there, but of course, though, you can't really talk about the President and be vague with it, so, that kind of makes sense. And of course, he's going after him, he's going after other rappers here, it seems, and, he's doing it in his normal kind of Kendrick fashion, kind of saying that he's the best, and if they want to be the best, they kind of have to step up to him. Overall, if I had to describe the lyrics, I would say it's kind of like a comeback track in a sense. Not to say that he was like coming back from a low point or anything like that, and that he really needed a strong comeback. But I felt like it was, Kendrick kind of coming back and saying, "I'm still here. I'm still making great music, and all you other rappers that aren't, I'm gonna show you that you make sucky music when I release this album that's gonna be amazing." That's kind of what I get that he's, saying here, and I think he does a good job with it. The beat here also is pretty interesting in my opinion. It reminds me a bit of the beats that were on To Pimp a Butterfly. Those kind of jazzy, very organic sounding beats as opposed to most hip-hop today that has more trap influence and more, not as organic sounding, more manufactured and programmed kind of sounding beats to them. This track here also has a bit more, organic feel to it. It's not quite the same as To Pimp a Butterfly. It changes things up a little bit, and I'm wondering if this whole new album is also going to have a similar sound. Still having that organic, maybe jazzy sound to it, but changing things up a bit here and there to make it something different from To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm hoping that's a potential option for what he's going for here, because I think it works well on this track. I like the beat. Overall, I really like this track, and I think if you're a Kendrick fan, you're definitely going to like this too, especially if you're a fan of his more lyrical content. This is definitely a lyric-heavy track, not so much of a track that you're going to find yourself, wanting to play around just to get hyped up to, or something that's really catchy. It's more of a thinker, you have to think about the lyrics here a bit more, kind of dissect what he's saying, especially because he throws a lot at you in these lyrics, especially in that second verse. But yeah, overall, you have to check this out if you're a Kendrick fan. I think it's a nice introduction to, this era of his career that's going to be, focused around his 4th studio album. And, as I said before, I'm not sure if this is going to be the single that's going to be on the album, or if this is just another single that's being released, kind of to, hold fans over, kind of introduce that, hey, this album's coming out, but this song isn't actually going to be on it. I really don't know yet. I guess more information is going to come out about that soon. Maybe we'll get a track listing soon. I don't know, but overall, I am really digging this track. And you owe it to yourself to check it out. If you're a fan of hip-hop, Kendrick, just music in general, yeah, check it out. Thank you for watching this video. Of course, you make sure to subscribe, make sure you don't miss out on other track reviews. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing Kendrick's new album whenever it drops, so yeah, you're not going to want to miss out on that. Leave a comment if you have anything you'd like to say, and stay golden. Thanks for watching.